my question, or my worry is, you know, all the Republicans are gonna get back in there. And if history proves anything, so many of them are weak and don't have the stomach for what I think should happen. You know, if you get in there and say, we're gonna stop spending, that's fine, but the communists still win. It's like walking up a sand dune. You go up 3 and come back 1, pretty soon you're at the top. You know, that's what the liberals really want, you know. My worry is that you guys are gonna get in and not roll back things. You're gonna say, we're gonna stop spending, but we're not gonna roll anything back. That's my concern.
Well, that's why I tell you, you gotta keep our feet in the fire. My record is not only stopping spending, but cutting taxes, and only rolling back spending.
I mean, when are we gonna stop having 2 EPAs, one at the state, one at the federal? When are we gonna stop having 2 oceans? When are we gonna stop having 2?
Well, the only way that
I could go on
happens,
forever.
simple answer to that, you gotta elect the right people.
Well, we've done it.
No, you haven't.
Everybody in this room has, but it didn't work.
Well,
We've been lucky enough to get a conservative president and an excellent.
but the issue is, you can't feel good about electing one member of Congress.
But everybody,
You've got emails across the United States, potentially, at least a number of states. You've got family living in other places. You've got to be change agents. I was one, but I was one. And I voted solidly. And I voted consistently. And that got me targeted. You've got to do the same thing in getting other people elected across the United States. You've got to do the same in the state legislature. That's a grooming ground for people to run to replace me in the future. That's where I started. That's where I developed a consistent record in the state legislature. Never voting for a tax increase. Co-sponsoring or sponsoring 26 tax cuts. Being a chairman of the general government subcommittee that had 9 of the 18 departments of state in my one subcommittee. And I cut that budget each of the 2 years I was chairman of that budget.
so is
Cut
there,
it.
is
Didn't
there
always
any,
stop it.
is there any discussion about rolling back instead of just stopping
Yeah.
spending?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But, first of all, you got to make sure there are less and less D's behind the members of Congress. There need to be more R's. And then you got to hold those people's feet to the fire to live like Republicans. And if we live like the Republicans that were started at 2nd and Franklin Street here in Jackson, Michigan in 1854, under the Oaks, you will have rollbacks. Because frankly, right now, if Jefferson and Madison, Washington, Adams walk down the streets, Pennsylvania, Independence Avenue, where our Capitol sits in between, and my office building and the Cannon House building sat on, if they saw the block after block after block of government buildings, they would say, what in the world happened?
There'd be a lot of dueling going on.
There'd be a lot of dueling going on, absolutely. So again, it starts by each of us taking responsibility that it doesn't count by just electing our one members. We've got to facilitate the change in any sphere of influence we have to elect other members. Michelle Bachmann, who will be here in this district speaking for me, raising money for me on the 21st of this month. Mike Pence, who will be here raising money for me on the 20th of this month. They understand that they can't just be representatives of their districts in Indiana and Minnesota. They need a colleague like Tim Walberg. So they're taking time out of their schedules, and Michelle is targeted number 1 this year. She's taking my place. But she's going to be here. And she needs people who have friends or family living in her district outside of Minneapolis to contact those people and say, you had better send Michelle Bachmann back. We need people who have friends and family members living in Columbus, Indiana, or around the Indianapolis area to say, we need Mike Pence back. And that's the type of network that has to go out. That's what Acorn did. That's what Obama did. He spread that out across the entire country. It wasn't amber waves of grain he was concerned about. It was waves of tweeting and blogging and emailing that brought people to the polls of like mind to put him in. They didn't even know who they were voting for, many people. Now we need to do the same, but let people know they're voting for a purpose far bigger than themselves. So, yes, sir.
Now, the 2 Republicans I don't really like is Lefty Snow and Susan Collins.
I don't like them either.
I don't like them either.
I don't like Arlen Spector either, I'm glad he's gone.
Bye-bye, Ireland. We needed Ireland. We could beat Ireland. I don't know if we could beat them.
I think Toomey's gonna win.
I think so.
I think Toomey's gonna win. Toomey's a great
Grand
guy.
Brewer, millions and $1.5 taxpayer contribution to the defense against that maniac in Washington. $1.5 million and
Let's do that.
Two and a half.
Just heard it yesterday.